Hey everyone, and welcome to the All In pre-show. That is the Sunday Night's Mini Event Radio pre-show party for AEW All In. What a week it's been, but we are here to celebrate and chat and really just take it all in because I'm sure it is going to be a hell of an event. We're your hosts. I'm Boris, and as always, I am joined by Matt.
Oh, hello. I was just reading a book to completion. How we doing, everyone? Bonjour! We are here live. It is time for AEW All In. It is a pro wrestling Christmas feel. It feels like a WrestleMania today, or at least a really good SummerSlam, you know?
I think it feels like a really good SummerSlam. We'll talk about everything in a little bit, but I'm hyped for this. It is going to be huge. It is going to be crazy. And you know what? Let's just get right to things. You got to give credit to Tony Khan and the entire AEW promotion because what this company has been able to do in 4 years is absolutely amazing. This is a 4-year-old company that is getting 80,000 plus people at Wembley Stadium. This is a company that was able to not only strive, but survive and thrive during the pandemic. And you have to give some credit where credit is due, and that is that.
Give Mr. Khan his flowers, as the kids and most of the adults now say. That's probably, we shouldn't say that anymore. I think it's going to get old very soon, if not already. Anyway, Tony Khan, give him his flowers. He deserves praise. The wrestling business has been saved. Also, I think AEW made WWE step their game up. We're in a healthy place here as wrestling fans for once in our lives.
That's exactly it, right? And that's exactly it. Competition just breeds excitement, and it breeds just a damn good atmosphere because that's what we're getting. Let's be honest. Not only is AEW crushing it, whether you like them or not, they are. And the same could be said about WWE. Whether you like them or not, they have stepped up their game and they've been producing some great TV week in and week out. And that's also given the other people some opportunity to get in some great professional wrestling in, like Impact Wrestling, which they're going to be live in Toronto at the Rebel Complex later on tonight, 8 p.m. bell time. If you're in the area, Eventbrite or ImpactWrestling.com for all of your tickets. It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great day of professional wrestling. We're going to start things off with some AEW All In. So if you are a patron, you already have the link to join us because we're going to try to get everyone online up to chat with us as soon as humanly possible. Patrons, you get first grabs. Everyone else that's watching on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, wherever you're watching, just send us a message on the chat and we'll get you the link up there. Really, that's the only way that we can really do this at this point. We don't have to call in feature. It's all link related, and I ain't throwing out a link publicly 24 hours before. Because, that's nice and safe.
Fair enough. Yeah, man, all that is left to do is quickly preview this show, and then let's talk to some pals. But first of all,
Matt?
Yes.
We're going to do something a little different right now. We're going to get someone on. We've podcasted with this person. I know as a fact that this person is already getting the party started. He's kind of like, Wayne's World, driving around in the Garthmobile, picking everyone up, ready to watch some All In, and that is Andre. Andre C., I'm bringing you up right now.
Hey, boys.
How's it going? Very good.
Yeah, I'm just literally getting ready to go out to go pick my friends up. So, yeah, you're right.
That's awesome. All right, so let's talk some AEW All In. How hyped are you for the show?
I'm so pumped, dude. I just did a preview yesterday for my buddy's channel, and I'm so excited, man. Ederer had the perfect thing. Wednesday got everybody super hyped, I think. Perfect go-home show. I was always into the Jericho Ospreay match, but that sold me 100%. I'm wearing my Birds of Prey shirt right now, so yeah. But yeah, I'm like, I think Ospreay and Jericho is my favorite match going into this because again, I'm an Ospreay homer, but like I'm looking forward to seeing how they come out of the main event, because like I think that's the most intriguing finish of them all.
Exactly. And I think that it's going to be my favorite thing in professional wrestling. And I remember this from the Monday Night Wars is when there was a story from beginning of Nitro or Raw going through to the very end. And I feel like we're really setting this up to be like that because at 0 Hour, and we're going to be talking about this shortly, we are going to see one of my favorite tag teams in the world, Aussie Open, taking on MJF and Adam Cole, and I really do think that we're going to get a nice little story to start the night that's going to be told throughout the entire show leading up to the main event, which in my opinion is going to lead into All Out next weekend.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So, Andre, sorry to interrupt, Boris. Andre, let me ask you though, brother. If you had to only watch one of these matches, or you're going to watch with some friends, what is the one match that your friends maybe are most excited about?
I think it's Adam Cole, MJF, because again, just it's been the best built storyline in so long. They've been building this forever. I don't think this was the storyline they envisioned originally. I think they envisioned having them broken up a couple weeks ago and like them going to war in this main event. But I think the crowd being as receptive as it was has created such a interesting dynamic to this program that it's only made it better.
Yeah, I think so. It's that's for sure. It's really excited for that match. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to say, I 100% agree. I think they caught lightning in the bottle on this one big time. And I do feel like I'm so intrigued, just like Boris, just like you said, it kind of has that Attitude Era feel, doesn't it? Where there's going to be a through line throughout this entire show. So yeah, I'm very excited to see where it plays out. It's nice when the sports entertainment, when the soap opera aspect actually hooks you in wrestling, you know?
100%. Well, thank you guys for having me on. I got to go get ready because I got to go pick up my friends and go watch an awesome pay-per-view. So
I love it. All right, Andre, thank you so much for joining us. Wanted to get you in as soon as humanly possible because like you did message me and I did promise, so that's that. All right, Matt, shall we do what we do best, and that is chat some cards, chat some pro wrestling. And like I say, we're just gonna spend a little bit of time. Again, if you're a patron, check your messages. There's a link to join us. If you're not a patron, you know what? Just go to the chat and leave us a message, and I'll send you the link. Or if you're on Facebook, just send me a DM, Boris Roberto Aguilar, and I'll send you the link. So many ways that you can get a hold of us, and you can chat some professional wrestling. And there's nothing like chatting pro wrestling at 10:15 in the morning on a Sunday.
What a way to spend the morning, brother. Got a little Bailey's in this coffee in this TFC cup. And yeah, it's an honor and a privilege to be here on Sunday night's main event, chatting some sports entertainment with my bud, big homie Boris. Let's just get it. Let's dive into the meat and potatoes of this card.
Let's do it. Then let's start with the 0 Hour because this match was added last night at Collision. That's for the FTW Championship. Your champion, Jack Perry, taking on Hook.
I feel like, yeah, a nice babyface win in front of the crowd. Hook will win the championship back for his father, for his extreme ancestors. It'll be a fun little quick match. Hook wins clean, I think.
Yep, I think so. I think that's for sure going to happen. I think that's a very, very, very safe statement to say 100%. We've already kind of touched on this match a little bit, and that is for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher taking on Adam Cole and MJF.
So I've already said this on the AEW 3D podcast. You can check that out every Thursday morning, afternoon-ish. But yes, every Thursday about 10:30 a.m. Aussie Open, I think, will pair with Adam Cole. They will join up Adam Cole and a group of his friends, Roderick Strong and the Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett. I think they're all going to join up as like a Ring of Honor super group. And Adam Cole is going to turn on MJF in this match on YouTube, setting up big heel Adam Cole versus MJF in the main event. That is my official guess for what happens here.
I like that guess. I think that's very probable. I think that's something that can for sure happen. You know what? I think that there's going to be, and I don't want to see this just because I want there to be no schmoz. This is, in my opinion, this is such a big show. I don't want there to be controversy. I don't want there to be a dusty finish by the end of the night. I want there to be a clear-cut winner, but in order to set up All Out, I think that there will be controversy. I think there will be the dusty finish, and I believe that it's going to start setting it up at this match in the 0 hour as someone gets quote-unquote injured. And are they at 100%?
I could see that happening as well, my friend. And again, that's why this is so good. And that's why it's a worthy main event. They really have an intriguing angle with so many different possibilities that they could turn to here at the start and at the end of this show. But I believe we're both in agreement. Aussie Open will leave with the Ring of Honor tag team titles.
Yep. Aussie. All right, let us jump to the main card. And the first match we're going to talk about is the Stadium Stampede, as your boy, Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends, along with Penta, El Zero Miedo, go up against the Blackpool Combat Club and Santana and Ortiz.
Yes. Oi, oi, oi. First of all, I'll have to complete that for you. Second of all, if I might, just a small correction. It is Mike Santana, because they said that no less than 15 times on Dynamite in Mike Santana's 5 seconds of screen time. They really want to hammer home he's a new man, and he's got a first name now. And it's Mike. So Mike Santana is coming strong. I'm very excited for this one. I wonder how they're going to do a Stadium Stampede match with 80,000 people actually in the building, because usually when they do this match, the stadium is empty, you see.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I think this is going to be just this is going to be a fun match, right? If this is not what your meat and potato type of match, then I'm sorry. But looking up and down the card, and this is something I've always given credit AEW for, and that's there's a little something for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. And this is going to be the ECW, the CZW, the garbage, as they say, match. But I'm here for it. I think it's going to be quite exciting. It's going to be a brawl all throughout the stadium. I do believe like it's going to be more anarchy in the arena style, which is a match that they've done before that I think is always great. It wouldn't surprise me to see old Mike Santana get the win here. I think it seems like they're pushing Santana pretty hard. They gave him a new name. He came out absolutely looking yacked on Dynamite. My guess is Mike Santana pins probably Orange Cassidy, possibly Eddie Kingston, but I'm going to say Mike Santana wins this match for the Blackpool Combat Club crew.
All right, let us move on to the next match. This is a match that got a little more interesting in the past 24 hours, and that's Chris Jericho versus the bruv, Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I went from no strong opinion on this match to like, I can't wait to see this. This is the thing I want to see most on this card, man. Will Ospreay, a money promo. Chris Jericho, absolute money promo on the most recent Dynamite episode. And then Jericho showed up to Rev Pro and knocked out Will Ospreay in his home turf. So yeah, lots of intrigue coming into this one. I do think Will Ospreay will win. But it's like Chris Jericho said, man. I believe he believes that this is the biggest match of his career. I can honestly see that argument talking about Chris Jericho now.
Yeah, this is crazy, right? Like, I'm really looking forward to this match. It's Will Ospreay is just having, he's making a real case to be the wrestler of the year. And if he gets, like, regardless of whether he wins or loses, the performance is going to be something. If he can get a great match out of Chris Jericho, I'm telling you right now, August 27th, he's getting my vote for wrestler of the year.
I'll co-sign that, give that a tick. Absolutely. I couldn't argue with that if I tried. I think the only argument against Will Ospreay is he a good promo guy? And he's cut 2 all-time great promos this year. One at the Wrestle Kingdom press conference against Kenny Omega, and one on Dynamite against Chris Jericho. So he can talk with the best of them too. At least has proved that twice this year.
Yep. All right, we're going to move on to the coffin match, and that's Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage.
Yeah, tag team coffin match. I believe the first I've seen. Do you think they're going to go like 4 coffins all over the arena, or do you think they have one huge double deep, double wide Yokozuna coffin for the whole tag?
I think it'll be the Yokozuna coffin. I think that's what we're going to be getting. But I feel sorry for whoever the agent is on this match because to create intrigue, right, you're going to want to have both guys in coffin and both guys fighting out, but there's going to be so many awkward instances where there's one guy of each team in the coffin, assuming that there's one. So we'll see what the setup is, but I would hate to be the agent for this match, the producer, whatever you want to call them. But I think that this match is going to be really good. What I'm most interested in this match is the chemistry between Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, that's really, it will be interesting to see because they have never teamed before. I do like the addition of Christian Cage. I think they had to get him on this card because he's been doing such good work in AEW. I'm glad to see him on this card. Although there are many people who are doing great work in AEW and are not on the card. It is nice to see Christian there. Feel bad for AR Fox, but it is what it is. And yeah, no, I'm quite intrigued for this match. I think we're going to see Nick Wayne. He's going to interfere in this no disqualification match, setting up Nick Wayne versus Christian Cage, which I'm quite excited for as well. This should be a really good match. And I expect Darby Allin and Sting to win because they're really pushing that Sting's undefeated, aren't they? They keep telling us that Sting is undefeated. So I think they're going to keep that going.
Or they're telling us because he's going to not be undefeated after today.
Oh, that's a really good point. That could be it. That could be why they're hammering it home. But I think they're hammering it home for a match against a world champion, or at least like a champion.
Better move for Christian Cage to put Darby Allin's, AEW dad in a coffin today.
Boris, you may have won me over on that. That is absolutely that is great. I love Christian's new character of he'll just make fun of your dead dad. It's so it's such easy heat, but it makes me laugh. Like I don't know how they landed on this as a character, but it always makes me laugh.
Right? I love it. So many jokes, but gotta hold them back. It is only 10:22 in the morning.
It'll be somewhat.
We're going to move on to the next match, and it's another match that I'm really looking forward to, and that's Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita.
I hope this sets up 6 months of Jay White versus Kenny Omega. I know we're kind of setting up Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega, and I'm okay with that. Kenny's going to help elevate Takeshita. I'm sure they'll have amazing matches, but you know what I want to see the most here is the Switchblade versus Kenny. That's what I am here for. This is one of those matches that is like sneaky best match on the show capability. This could steal the show.
I agree, right? Everyone keeps saying Kenny Omega needs to be in a one-on-one. Man, I agree, but at the same time, I feel like there's so many great stories that can come out of this 6-person match, right? And I honestly think that in a week's time, we're going to get Takeshita versus Omega in a one-on-one. That's it. And then he's going to move on to Jay White.
I hope so. I am here for that. They definitely need to do Kenny versus Konosuke once at least. They need to do that match. They should do it soon. And then let's do the Switchblade versus Kenny feud, please and thank you.
All right, the next match we're going to be talking about. This match has been happening for the 20 years, 19 years, starting off just in front of a few hundred people, but now in front of 81,000 people, and that is for the real world's title, your champ, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah, so it's a little cold going in, much like the Young Bucks match, which we'll talk about in a second. It's a little cold going in. Isn't that ironic that Punk and the Bucks are a little cold? But once they're actually in the ring in front of this crowd, I'm sure they have something pretty special planned. I think this is going to be a lot better than people realize. I think CM Punk is very proud. Samoa Joe is very proud. This is the biggest match possibly of the remainder of their careers. They're probably neither of them will have a match this big in terms of the audience, at least again. So I think they're going to go all in, Boris. I think they're very hardworking veterans. They're going to leave it all in the ring. This will be a very good match. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, this match is going to be really fun. I think that this is going to be a long match. I think that this is going to be a very long New Japan Pro Wrestling type of match. These guys, they're not spring chickens anymore, but they still have it. And I think that they're going to have a nice slow build and then just go rock 'em, sock 'em like those two little robots, at some point. And they're going to give us a hell of a show. And I'm really looking forward to this match. And in my opinion, this might be low-key match of the night contender.
It's definitely there's so many talented dudes on this card, but I'm saying I'm positive they will have a good match. There's a possibility they've went an hour a couple times. You might be onto something with that. The length of this match, they might really explore the studio space here for this one. They might take a while.
Matt, remember, it's not the length of the match. It's the quality of the match.
It's
All right, we're going to move on to the next match. For the AEW Trios title, it's the House of Black versus the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn.
Father ass, if you will. Billy Gunn, the badass Billy Gunn, his last hoorah. They haven't said this, but it feels like in the build, win, lose, or draw, this might be Billy Gunn's last match. Maybe if they win the titles, they'll go lose them at next week's pay-per-view, and that will be the end. But feels like we're nearing the end for Billy Gunn here. So thank you very much, Mr. Gunn, for your contributions, for entertaining me all of my life, because it's like I was what? When did Billy Gunn come in the WWE, man?
30 years.
93, 94, right?
Yep. I think 92, 93, 93 sounds about right for me. So let's give him that 30-year career that he's been entertaining us. It's crazy. What a career that man has had. And to think that, his career basically went ass up. Yeah, I said it because of one promo.
Yes, yeah, no, and you know what? I felt redemption for Billy Gunn finally cutting a good promo after all these years. His swan song on Dynamite. He cut an awesome promo, man. It was like the best Billy Gunn promo for sure.
Yep. All right, we're going to move on to the AEW Women's title, and that is your champion Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm versus Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker. And Matt, you're in Wembley, 81,000 people. This is one of the, the story is the comeback. Is there any chance that Saraya doesn't walk out of Wembley as champ?
I think there's a chance. I would bet, like, if I had a $5, I'd throw it down that Saraya is going to win, but I like only a $5. I'm not betting my life savings on it, and my life savings isn't that much more than a $5, to be honest. But Hikaru Shida is a worthy champion. It's way too early to take the belt off her in a number of ways. Dr. Britt doesn't need it. Toni Storm doesn't need it. So I think either Hikaru Shida retains, or they give it to the British woman who had to retire due to health problems in a really good, feel nice moment. I think that's obviously what's going to happen. So yeah, I would put money that Saraya is going to win, but the thing is, there's no reason to take Hikaru Shida's belt away other than this being a really nice moment. So I could see Tony saying, you know what? Let's just leave Shida as the champion here. Maybe they put her over dominantly by crushing Saraya and she goes heel. Who knows?
I know this won't happen, but hear me out. Feel me out for just a second, and this is what I would love to see. I would love, and I don't know who out of Storm, Saraya, or Britt Baker would get quote-unquote injured, and then they have to fill in that spot, and it's somehow Jamie Hayter comes back, or if Jamie Hayter just somehow turns into the 5th person in this match. I would absolutely love to see that, but again, I know that's a pipe dream. I know that's not going to happen. It's just, that would be the all-in moment for me.
That's awesome. If she is healthy enough, that would be so cool. I'm not, who knows if that's even possible. I don't think it is with her health, right? The word is she's not going to be back for a number of months. Here's a couple other names to throw at you that could either show up at the end of this or somehow get into this match. We haven't seen Thunder Rosa in months and months and months, and this would be a good place to bring her back if she's ever coming back to wrestling. Also, I don't know if you saw on the social media, but a certain Mercedes Moné has posted pictures from London. Perhaps trolling, you never know. Workers work, shooters shoot, but maybe, just maybe, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné might show up here at All In. I do think it's bittersweet, this match, though, because while it's great that 4 talented women are on this card, I think there's like a place for at least one more women's match, let alone 2 or 3. Jade Cargill is just apparently out of wrestling. She can't get on this show. That's kind of weird. Chris Statlander can't get on this show. That's kind of weird. Like you said, it sucks to not see Jamie Hayter here. All that's circumstance. She would have been on the show had she not been injured, but I wish we had another women's match,
Man, I would have just paid a lot of money to see Willow Nightingale on this card.
1,000,000%. Willow Nightingale versus Athena. Where's Athena? Athena's arguably the best women's wrestler of 2023, and she can't even get a sniff of this card. Willow Nightingale's a hugely popular babyface. She should be on this card,
Yeah, well, Thumbs how it happens, right? All right, we're gonna move on to the next match, and that is for the AEW tag team titles. FTR versus the Young Bucks, the rubber match.
Yes, the rubber hits the road. I'm rocking the Matt Jackson man bun and bandana because I'm losing my hair. I'm also rocking the FTR, the 7-star, in solidarity for both of these teams. I think this is going to be the best match on the show. Can't wait to see it. Having said that, the build for these guys always leaves me a little cold. It's weird. They don't go full on with the feuds. I think there might be some real life animosity, a little friction, not like that they can't work together, but there's a little bit of friction here, and that helps the match. But for some reason, it hurts the build. Do you know what I mean? Like getting there, it just feels awkward. But once they're in the ring, holy fuck, these guys are brilliant wrestlers. So, not taking sides in the CM Punk elite divide. Love wrestling, love wrestlers equally. This match is going to be friggin' incredible, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, I really, I know what you mean exactly when you said about like that awkwardness, and I do think like that promo, that sit down promo with Renee on Wednesday, I think that was more real than anything else.
Yeah. That was the realest thing I've seen on a wrestling show since CM Punk started shooting on people. You know, that felt like a legitimate, like that's how Matt Massey and Nick Massey feel in their hearts about their career. That's how it felt to me anyway. And in a way, that's good. That's that tension, that electricity in the air when they actually get into the ring. Maybe it's good that the build's a little awkward. It's not clean. You know what I mean? It's not like a WWE polished thing. It feels like, in some ways, it feels like an older wrestling match. The weird thing is, though, about the build, I feel like Matt Jackson went so hard on FTR there that it kind of makes FTR look, for lack of a better term, like little bitches if they lose. Like FTR kind of needs to win this match now, don't they?
I agree. I really do think that. Like, that was my takeaway from that on Wednesday was like, wow, FTR is really looking weak. And then it's like, oh, yeah, they're the champs too. But you never
Right?
know, right? Like, this is the thing. When it comes to Buck matches, you just never know who's going to win. And by that, I just mean it's just like there's always this weird build. And especially right now, it's never clear who the face is, who the heel is. The London crowd, you know, they're gonna be having fun with some real life stuff during this match. Man, like we haven't even talked about the crowd dynamic yet.
Oh, 80,000 screaming, drunken fans in Wembley for the biggest show that they've seen in 30 plus years. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, this is where Cash Wheeler might be hearing some chants for his recent run-ins with the law. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot of songs. We'll be hearing a lot of unique chants. And this is one where, yeah, old Danny Wheeler might receive a couple choice tunes here.
All right, and then we've hinted at it. We've talked about it. We all have theories, and we're going to be talking about it some more. And that is the main event in front of 80,000 people. This man started all in 27-18, and this man is main eventing, and we're talking about the main event of the match for the AEW World Championship. MJF, your champ, versus Adam Cole.
Here's how I see it going down. The angle plays out in the opening match. Adam Cole officially turns heel on MJF. They get in there. They have another amazing match. They've had one match already on AEW television. It was a classic. They go in there. They have another. MJF wins by the skin of his teeth, by the hair of his chinny chin chin. He escapes with the title. They obliterate MJF, and then either the show goes off the air or CM Punk comes out with his real world title and obliterates MJF some more, setting up that feud. I don't exactly know where it ends, how the show goes off the air, but I do believe MJF will win as a babyface, and the show will end with him laid out by someone, perhaps CM Punk.
It's interesting because everyone's going to hear this conversation. I've already recorded my conversation with Chris Van Vliet for the main show later today. And one of the things we were talking about was kind of like, as a casual fan, we always have to bring up the casual fans. I know that that conversation gets boring, but as a casual fan, flipping through the channels, it's very confusing, and I don't know how they're gonna book it, and I don't know how they're gonna convince a casual to pay $100 in a week's time for 2 pay-per-views. But looking at this from our point of view, the internet wrestling fans' point of view, man, there's so many possibilities that can happen, and that's what has me the most intrigued about this show is that there's another pay-per-view in a week's time, and there's so many different directions that they can go in. We can do MJF Adam Cole 2. We can do MJF CM Punk for the unification. We can do Adam Cole and MJF versus CM Punk and someone, right? Like, there's so many different directions that we can go in, and that's what intrigues me as a fan, and it's gonna keep me watching, right? So it's kind of funny. It's like I feel sorry for the bookers and the agents and Tony Khan, who kind of has to play that like middleman and try to get people hyped as a casual fan and also keep us happy, in the internet wrestling community.
I know what you're saying. It's a good problem to have, but yes, yeah, it is a tightrope that they're walking for sure. Just because if in the event that CM Punk were to interfere at the end of this match, I don't think that necessarily means that the main event of All Out has to be winner versus Punk. I think they could easily run this match, MJF versus Adam Cole, back as a rematch, as a grudge match, depending on what happens here. And Punk could have to work his way back to the actual title reign, however they do it. But yeah, no, so much intrigue, and we've seen these men have an excellent match already together. So we know for a number of reasons, storyline wise, and just in terms of what will be delivered in the ring, this is a worthy main event of the biggest wrestling show, a non-WWE, non-North Korea division ever, right? So man, what can you say about this other than we're blessed to have it? It's going to be awesome, and MJF should win, should retain, should continue as champion.
All right, we're going to turn things over to you, the listener, very shortly, but we have a couple of housekeeping items to take care of. Number one, if you're a patron and you want to chat with us, the link is already in your messages in your patron inbox. If you're just watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, get on the chat, let me know that you want to join us, and I'll drop the link there so that you can pick it up and we can have a chat as we finish talking about All In. Also, just remember that not only are you getting a pre-show today, you're going to be getting an after party as well, as Matthew and Aaron Grant talk everything All In, and they'll be able to answer the questions that we have about what's going on and what happened, and they're going to do the full rundown of the show and then also take your calls later on tonight, and that's how we do here on SNME Radio. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this, so it is time. We're going to bring up another familiar face, and he's my co-host each and every single week on the Rampage Ramble, Xavier. Holy
Oh, shining. Oh my God.
Love it.
I'm blind.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All In.
Right? Oh, this is great.
And welcome to the All In pre-party brought to you by Sunday Night's Main Event.
I love it. You know what I love about this? We're getting people who usually aren't up by the time an AEW show is done.
And I'm just a casual fan.
Yeah, exactly. I love this, man.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
Doing great. I am doing fantastic.
Very well, yeah, man. You look like you're doing pretty well yourself, my friend.
I just woke up about a half hour ago, and the best part of waking up is AEW in your cup.
Yeah, man.
I love it. All right, so what is it that you're looking forward to the most on the show?
Well, first of all, honestly, I just want the whole entire thing to go off without a hitch. But what I'm looking forward to most is just the crowd reaction. Over 80,000 people just at this event. This is very historical. I always love to see milestone events like this, to see where people come from the ground up and make it to this point. And it's just it's going to be surreal for to see. I have no doubt that virtually every match on this card is going to rock. When it's time for them to really do their thing, they do their thing, and it never disappoints. The crowd reaction. I want to, just vicariously live through that experience, through what they're going through. I'm just so excited for the fans right now.
That's exactly it, right? Like, and I know a few people that are there. I know some people are thinking of calling in that are there, but they're having a blast, and I'm happy for them. But man,
Absolutely.
like that's exactly it, right? Like, this is a wrestling starved town, to say the least. Yeah, they get house shows. Yeah, they have their own indie promotions, but getting a major show like this, that rivals WrestleMania, and just being able to just, this is the first show that AEW is doing in London. I just love that.
It's one of those things that's going to go down in history. Like, we look back at this, almost like the time when Ring of Honor hit Madison Square Garden, and All In, the first All In came in, and I just watched that the other day. It was like 10,000 people who didn't think that this was going to happen, and now we're looking at the follow up to this. And it's, by the way, the connections. Watching the original All In, there is some storyline connections that are linking to the old show to this one now, including Don Callis, who was the commentator for that event, and praising Kenny Omega ever since then. So it's like, there's some really awesome things that, like, Marvel-esque, things that are connecting here, which is awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, I love to see that stuff. And it's cool to see those connections, right? And it just kind of reminds you, like, the meticulous planning that AEW typically has for their shows.
Absolutely. It goes, I mean, we talk about how tired Tony Khan is, which I still believe he's a little bit drained out. He's not on the second tank of empty yet, but he's still a little bit drained out. But it's good to see that there's some effort being put in to a lot of this, that it's just not, he's just tossing it in. So I'm happy. I think we're going to have a great show today.
I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I agree with you so much. Dax, I did want to ask you, because you are a longtime fan of wrestling, specifically of the territorial era, the JCP, Jim Crockett promotions.
Hell yeah.
We recently lost one of the all-time legends of professional wrestling, Terry Funk. So while we got you on the line, do you have any memories of the great Terry Funk?
I do. I actually, me and Boris spoke about this briefly on a Rampage Ramble, but I got the opportunity, the privilege and pleasure to see him on, like, I think 3 different promotions. I think I did see him in ECW, maybe not. I don't recall, but I absolutely did see him. I was there at the Philadelphia Civic Center for the very first Halloween Havoc ever, '89, when they did the Thunderdome cage match with J-Tex with Gary Hart. And, it's Great Muta. It's Terry Funk versus Sting and Ric Flair in that Thunderdome cage match where Muta something went on fire and Muta just sprayed to distinguish the fire with his mist. Awesome. Never forget about that. Second one was Ring of Honor when CM Punk actually faced Terry Funk. And what was so awesome about that, and if you got the Honor Club, go back and watch that. This is when you knew kind of CM Punk had something, because he put out this promo that kind of threw shade on Terry's retirements, if you will, and ended it by saying forever. And they end up having this really cool match, and it felt like they gelled really well in that match. But Terry will be remembered, in my opinion, and he deserves my immediate attention here. Terry will be remembered for being the embodiment of what wrestling should be. He is a guy who loves tradition, but he's also a guy that pays it forward and looks forward to seeing the future. He is the first, legend that we saw that really try to pay it forward for not just ECW, for multiple, companies, and give an idea of how, like the template of how veterans should react to the new generation. He's never shied away. He's never done it. He's always been an advocate of the future. And I think there's a lesson to be learned about the legacy. And I hope they make a movie based on his life. He deserves it.
Oh, that's a really good call. Yeah, he's been in movies too. He's in Roadhouse. He's in a couple,
yes.
So,
yeah, a lot of Stallone films.
Yeah, I recently saw on Twitter, it was a Roadhouse cut, but it was a Terry Funk cut, where it was literally only the scenes that he was in.
Amazing.
That's awesome. Roadhouse. I just keep thinking of Family Guy when I hear it.
That's literally, I can't not think of Family Guy when someone says Roadhouse. That's literally all I think of is Roadhouse.
just want to kick somebody and just say Roadhouse, and then you could get away with murder for that.
Right? Dax, I got to ask you, we've been, having our theories about how they're going to book the Adam Cole MJF Aussie Open match leading into the main event. What are you thinking? How do you think they're going to work this out?
That is a good question, man. It's one of those cases where like I'm so perplexed at how that's going to go. I want to sit back and just figure it out myself. I have no clue. I just hope that it goes out without a hitch, that these guys come out without any issues leading into the main event. This is so risk taking. It really has me on edge, to be honest.
Yeah. Can you imagine how Aussie Open must feel having this match, wanting to go out there and do what you do best, but knowing that if something goes wrong, it's on your head that you've ruined the main event for All In, 81,000 people in front of Wembley.
It's one thing to be in the opener, which is always said to be one of the most important matches to be in to start the whole thing off. I don't think they have a problem with that. But like you said, the gravity of this is so thick. I can't wait to hear interviews with them later on about their experience and what they're feeling from this. I feel for them.
I feel for them. Like, I'm nervous for them. Like, after this, it's Sunday. I'm gonna, go on my knees and pray to some sort of form of a deity, knock on some type of wood, and just wish for the best for everyone.
But with that said, this will be a make or break moment for them. And they've been noticed, but only the hardcore people know who Aussie Open, how great Aussie Open is. They're like the next generation FTR, in my opinion. In a lot of ways, I think this will get a chance for people to truly see what they're about, because there are people in AEW who don't even watch New Japan and have never watched them outside of that venture. So I mean, this will really be a test for them. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for all of them.
Yep. Yeah. Same here. Super excited for that. Just taking a look at pictures here on the stage, and as people are getting into Wembley, man, it looks beautiful in there. I just love a stadium with all red. I don't know why all red just works for a stadium.
Well, psychologically, that might just be a man thing. men are attracted to red. It's a known thing.
Yep, exactly.
That's how they grab us.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh man, so super excited. Anything else you want to chat about?
Nope, I just want to say you guys are doing an absolutely great job here. Thank you, as always, for the quality and effort that you put together. And thank all the listeners and fans out there who are ready to enjoy this day.
Dex, as always, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the show, and we'll probably chat at some point today, if not in the next few days.
Not a problem. Now, if you don't mind, the champ has to make a pizza.
Love it.
Put this damn heavy ass belt back up on that shelf. For those who don't know, who's thinking about getting this is like Fred Flintstone. Have you ever watched the Flintstones when a waitress puts the big slab of brontosaurus meat on top of the thing and it tilts over? That's me right now. This thing is not light.
Yeah. Love it.
That's good, man. All right.
Great talking to you, man. Thank you very much for your kind words.
Anytime. Take care.
Thank you. Always love chatting with him. Always love chatting some wrestling. We're going to keep the lines open for a little longer. But Matt, man, what a day it's going to be. As I'm seeing the pictures of people coming in, and I'll share this for those of you watching on YouTube. Cool. And for those of you listening to the podcast version, I do apologize, but that should get you to come and watch live with us as we do all this. So here we go. It is loading. Boom. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks.
Wow. Yeah. Nice setup. A canopy, of course, over the ring, just in case of rain. They are calling for some rain during this show.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll see if that comes to fruition. I mean, it is England. Stranger things have happened than a little rain in England. But yeah, no.
Here's a funny. I'm just looking through everything. All in. That's the hashtag I'm looking at right now. Look at that. Just looks absolutely beautiful. I'm just loving it.
Nice. And yeah, shout out to everyone who's there. Shout out to our listeners, friends of the program who are at the show. Hope you all enjoy it. Hope it's everything it's cracked up to be. We will enjoy watching it here in our warm, dry homes.
Yeah, hopefully dry. Hopefully dry.
hopefully dry. Yeah, I've lived in some homes with some leaks, you know.
If I was at the 854, you never know what could happen there. So as I'm looking through Twitter, X, whatever he wants to call it this week, a lot of people are actually theorizing that Saraya is going to win, and then Monet is going to be making her way down.
I could see it. She posted that picture from London. She pulled it and then she put it back up. I feel like if she is coming, maybe that was kind of like a mandate. Like, no, it's okay. Like, it's okay to get that buzz going. You don't have to pull this picture, you know. It wouldn't shock me to see Mercedes Moné show up at this show. I think she would be a huge get for the AEW women's division, even if just for a match or two. But I think like they need star power in that division. They need people who Tony's willing to push.
That's exactly it. But that's a conversation for another show. Again, right now, I just want to celebrate professional wrestling. 81,000 people going into Wembley Stadium. Man, it makes me it always makes me laugh because I'm the type of person who, everyone who listens and has listened to me for the past 3 years kind of knows I like my occasional alcoholic beverage, right?
I've heard similar things.
As the rumors go. But one thing I don't like to do is getting absolutely smashed before an event, because I'm like, I've spent money for this. I want to remember this show or whatever, this game or whatever. Even TFC games. It's rare that I would get just absolutely smashed at a TFC game.
Right.
My point being,
I've seen you smashed once or twice, but yes, never before an event. Only after.
Yeah. After. Exactly. That's exactly it. After. Now, my whole point here is, man, I wonder how Wembley is going to be. Just because, man, I've been to footy games out there, and holy crap, sometimes, because most places don't sell beer inside. Like, some people just show up absolutely smashed, and it's just like, and it's gonna make for a great crowd. Like, again, we haven't talked about the crowd. This is like literally the short story long into the crowd. This crowd is going to be hot. It's going to be electric, and I think that's like, similar to how Gotham City is a whole character in the Batman universe. I believe that the Wembley crowd is going to be a whole character for All In 2023.
Well put. Exactly right. That is, yeah, we're hoping. Bring the energy, bring the noise, Wembley. It's now in your hands. It's now up to you. But I don't think we'll be disappointed, man. After 30 years, they're getting a pay-per-view. Ah, man, it's going to be a loud, boisterous bit of fun for the English faithful.
All right, so before we go, let's talk a little bit about 1 week from today. That is All Out. We only have 3 matches. We have the TBS Championship. Chris Statlander, she's going to be taking on Ruby Soho. That is going to be a fun match. We have Powerhouse Hobbs versus Miro. And we also have Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin. What do you foresee? And I know that this is just like, throwing shit at a wall type of question. What do you foresee else happening at All Out?
Another MJF Adam Cole match. I think it's going to be a clear heel face divide. MJF as a triumphant baby face against Adam Cole heel. That will happen, in my opinion. I think we're going to get Takeshita versus Kenny Omega, as you have already astutely noted, young Boris. It wouldn't shock me to see the Young Bucks FTR 4 and the Young Bucks get the win back from the loss that they will incur in Wembley Stadium in a couple hours. That wouldn't shock me. What about Hikaru Shida versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW Women's Championship? Not Saraya, but Shida. What about that? No, it's probably going to be Saraya.
I think it'll be Monet versus whoever the champion is, most likely Saraya. And I think it's just, again, I feel like that is money, pun intended. Now, what's interesting, though, is like, that match is a match that, again, going back to the conversation that we had earlier, if I'm a casual, I would put another $50 to see Paige taking on Sasha Banks, right?
And I don't know how much they'll play this up, but if you remember how Paige's career originally ended, it was an accident in the ring with Sasha Banks, with Mercedes Moné. So if they wanted to play that card, if both performers are comfortable playing that card, there's a ready-made build right there.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. So it's this can go in so many different directions. Do you think we're gonna get any surprises at all in?
I do believe Mercedes will show up. That would be the surprise. Wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me if Edge showed up. I know that he says that his contract goes through September. I wonder. He also said once that he'll never come back and then showed up at the Royal Rumble a couple months later. You never know. You never know. It wouldn't shock me. But if I had to, you put the proverbial gun to my head, I would say Mercedes and Mercedes only, not Edge. But also Edge is a dark horse to show up.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think so. But again, stranger things have happened in professional wrestling, and this is the world of never say never, right?
Absolutely right. Absolutely. You never know. But yeah, Mercedes, I think, is the one. And if Mercedes can't be there, maybe they bust out the Thunder Rosa card. Maybe they bust out the Jamie Hayter card, Boris.
I would love to see, just to shut the internet up, for somehow Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa having to team up against the Outcasts or something.
That'd be kind of fun. Bygones be bygones. They shake hands and hug. And even if just for 10 minutes on television and they hate each other backstage, I think it would be nice for the fans to see.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's what I foresee happen in some shape or form. Talking about the Outcasts, we've been seeing a lot more teases and the seeds planted that they're all going after the same prize. Do you think that's going to play a factor here in All In today?
Wouldn't shock me. And maybe that's a way that you turn Saraya babyface. You have Ruby and Tony just ruthlessly turn on her, perhaps during this match or before. Who knows? Yeah, man, I could easily see some dissension in the Outcast ranks for sure.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, man. What a card! I'm really I'm getting more hyped just talking about this.
Nice.
Hopefully, everyone watching and listening is also getting a little hyped. This is the last call for anyone who wants to come on. I know it's a little early. This is the earliest we're going to start one of these things, but we're going to try this out again for one of the evening pay-per-views next weekend. Because remember, we have not one but two pay-per-views next weekend. We will have after parties for both, and we'll have pre-shows. We'll talk about that throughout the week. And where you can find all of that information is going on Facebook at the Sunday Night's Main Event Facebook group. Going to facebook.com/SNME Radio. You can also get all of the information at snmeradio.com. And just remember, if you want to be part of the family, you can help us keep the lights on by becoming part of the family for just $5 a month. You have to go to patreon.com/SNME Radio. And again, this is a monumental night for so many people. Man, I'm just so proud of, honestly, just the entire roster. And for some of the roster, like the Jack Perrys, who have never been at a WrestleMania and participated at a WrestleMania. Can you imagine what they're feeling, what they're going through?
Oh, I could not, man. Even someone like a Christian Cage, but even someone like a Chris Jericho. But like you said, for the Aussie Opens, for the Jack Perrys, for Hook, who is just so new in his career, for Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who is headlining this thing, for Adam Cole, who almost lost his career to concussions and is now headlining the biggest show in wrestling history. My God, it's so cool. CM Punk, who
these people are bigger than the world of professional wrestling, and it was really hard to get hyped before this, but now talking to you, Matt, and talking to Dax and Andre and people messaging me offline, I'm just like, you know what? I am pumped for this show. Thank you, everybody, for getting me pumped, and I hope that we were able to entertain you even for a brief little second, because that's what we are here to do here on Sunday Night's Main Event. Whew, what a I'm so excited for today, because not only are we getting All In later on today here in Toronto, myself and some of the SNME crew, and including contest winners, we're going to be at Impact's Emergence Show here in Toronto at the Rebel Entertainment Complex. You can go to Eventbrite or Eventbrite or impactwrestling.com for tickets. You can also watch the show at home at Fight TV or you can subscribe to Impact Plus because it's one of those Impact Plus specials. And we're going to get matches like Sonata versus Jake something.
Oh, that's interesting. Big spot for Jake something. Indie veteran of Toronto and Canada. That's awesome to see Jake something get that match. That's huge for him.
And it is Sunday, and that means that it is time, later on, for us to chat some pro wrestling because we are going to be releasing our regular radio show on TSN Radio and the iHeart Radio Talk networks. And this week, I'm going to be chatting like I do each and every single week with Chris Van Vliet. And we had a very cool talk about Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. We also talked about All Out. I kind of hinted at that earlier on this show, and we talked a lot about Payback and kind of getting hype for that show itself. We so much to go. And just remember also, after All In, come right back. We'll send out links and YouTube because Matthew and Aaron Grant are going to be bringing the after party, wrapping up, chatting the show, getting your calls in. What a busy day. What a busy crew. We have such an awesome crew here at SNME Radio, and I'm just so proud to be part of it. And thank you to everyone who has been listening. It has been a hell of a week, a hell of a day, and I'm really, really looking forward to things.
Same, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Quick final thoughts. Rest in peace, obviously, Terry Funk. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Thank you so much for your contributions, and our thoughts and prayers go out to your families. My God, especially Bray Wyatt. Boris, here's a little tidbit for you. Canada Day weekend, 2024. Canada Day falls on a Monday. Looking at the Jays schedule, they're on the road throughout Canada Day. Tony Khan, All In 2024 Canada Day weekend in Toronto, Skydome. Do it, you coward. You won't do it. Do it, you coward.
Matt wants to sing to some Judas, and that's going to be interesting with Fozzy there. Good for that. It's honestly just so much to celebrate. No point in being negative. No point in tribalism. No point in all that BS. Let's just celebrate professional wrestling. We have so much to be happy for this day and age. And I think people forget. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you had one promotion, and that was it.
And yeah, there was no hope of them going to Wembley 5 years ago. So did this even seem possible? What a time to be alive, Boris. And again, please, if you take nothing else from this podcast, take this. All In 2024 Skydome Canada Day weekend. Do it, you cowards.
Thank you so much for listening. You have been listening to the SNME Radio All In London pre-show party. Just remember that we are doing an after party with Matthew and Aaron Grant. SNMEradio.com for all of your information. Patreon.com/SNME Radio to become part of the family. Again, thank you so much for listening. He's Matt. I'm Boris. Until next time, stay tranquilo.